Porzione sì.
Oh, did you go after?
But I wasn't, I was supposed to meet Harold Lagoon, and he couldn't, his last minute he couldn't make it. And I'm like, I was out doing that, and I'm like, I need coffee. I'm like, oh, okay. Nice and quiet.
She's not here.
Not going to be?
She's married.
Oh, that doesn't mean anything.
Besides, you know, but she might be here for the other music.
Of course.
The Dominant Lama, I thought he died.
Why did he die?
Cool.
Dalai Lama
He's in a little.
has issued a much
He's just an
needed
8-year-old kid and he told the kid to suck his tongue. Yeah.
So that's where
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Not Instagram. But you couldn't only be out.
Oh my God.
I thought he died.
No, he's 87 years old. Sunday night.
But it's not.
Groups came out and they would sing one of the rituals.
getting billed debalanced because they don't reciprocate.
Right, I get it.
Like New Hampshire for the longest time, when my mother-in-law and father had Medicare, their doctor didn't accept the Medicare, so they would always get billed
That's
down.
what happens to Michael. When his appointment says $350, goes to one, because they don't accept his insurance.
So why is he finding another doctor?
Because it's a, what do you call it, doctor? It's like a pain med. I know that's not my problem, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's a limit on $150 for once a month, just so they can get your pills.
The way it is, moving west.
And what about if you like autistic or something like that? You know, like lethal meth or something. Wonder how all that works.
Depends on what insurance you got.
I just got an attack on nerve. That tells you,
What?
her sister passed away on Good Friday.
Oh, wow.
So I guess she changed Catholic woman. Her and her husband. Refuses to go to anything. Other than what somebody like Miles, his buddy was doing it with me, and he can't do that because
Yeah. Was she sick?
my friend Brenda, she came up here a couple weeks ago, and the place itself, the place that came here. He's like, I don't know why they sent her here. Because she went on dialysis. She wouldn't go because the mask, she couldn't breathe. And I guess she just lost that weight when she died. Yep, so we go into that, and you know what, one time down there. Jamal said, they had Mormon church. So I think it's like after you go under the bridge, well, is there a bridge? Yeah, there's a bridge there, right? Where the road used to be.
I think so.
So it's somewhere past there, like going towards JJ's.
Oh, I don't
But
know.
to the street there, and like Mormon church. What's the one by East and Jackson Street? That's close, so this, so if you're riding from Lawrence, so Lawrence is here, you're riding up on this side, you go towards.
Oh, Jehovah's Witness.
So I was thinking that was the church.
Good evening. Welcome to the Personnel Committee meeting. Today is Tuesday, April 11th. It is 6:19. With me tonight is Counselor at Large Rich Russell, Council Vice President and State Representative Estela Reyes, and myself, Stephanie Infante, Vice Chair of the Personnel Committee. If you can please all join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the
Okay, counselors, we have minutes for approval, minutes from our meeting in January 24th, 2023. I'm looking for a motion.
So move.
Second.
Okay, motion was made by Representative Reyes, seconded by Counselor Russell, and roll call because I believe he can. Yep. Counselor Russell,
Present.
Vice President Estela Reyes,
Yes.
and I vote in the affirmative. Okay, counselors, we have 3 new business items for tonight. The first one being item 8723, Board of Health appointment of Jose Baez D.O., and this was brought to us by Mayor Brian A. DePena. And I believe Dr. Baez is here. If you can come, if you can step up and just introduce yourselves. And we do have your application that we all reviewed, but just introduce yourself and let us know why you're interested in being part of the Board of Health.
Hello, good evening. My name is Jose Baez. I'm a primary care physician here in Lawrence. I'm located at 290 Merrimack Street. And I started working back in 2005 at the Lawrence General Hospital. And I feel a part of this community. I want to serve and help and make policies and funds available to the city so we can make the health job better. I have a background in different things. I've been in the military as a member of the Medical Corps, been deployed to Iraq twice. I've been deployed overseas to other missions. I served for 19 years in the military, in the U.S. Army, initially as an enlisted, then as a physician. And I came to Massachusetts. I did my medical school in New Jersey. I came to Cambridge through Harvard Medical School. I did my internship and residency in internal medicine. And I've been working mostly as a hospitalist internist and now as a primary care internal medicine. My offices span from South Lawrence to North Andover.
Thank you. Counselors, does anyone have any questions for Dr. Baez?
Actually, I do have a comment.
Representative Reyes?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Doctor, for applying. I know that your time is very valuable. And for you to show interest in to continue working with us, because I know how your day looks like every day, seeing like 30+ patients and then taking the time to be serving our community. That talks very highly about you. Thank you for taking your time and actually continue working with us.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Counselor Russell?
I do appreciate it. I see, being a veteran myself, I do appreciate you working your way up from E4 to 03 to 04. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And I have a comment and a question. I also want to thank you for your service. That's a huge sacrifice for us to have our freedom here in our country. But I'm also curious to know, what do you think, if you were to become a new member of the Board of Health, what do you think we should, as a city, improve on, or where do you see your skill set will really help us move to the next level?
Well, I had the pleasure of working in the community during the COVID pandemic, and as you know, it was chaos. Everything was closed. The flow of information from the officials to the physicians to the public was really chaotic. The funding, the where to go, the how do I get medications, the how do I get tested, how do I get a permit to open a location here to serve in any crisis. I mean, we had so many crises since I've been in Lawrence, from the glass explosions to this pandemic, and then so many others. And the direction, I mean, I'm in primary care. I have a huge population that I serve. the leadership for the medical side of the house is very poor, and every funds that become available, they always go to the hospital, which is not always where it's needed. So I hope I can serve and guide and advise at least on how to make things better.
Thank you. At this point, councilors, I am looking for a motion.
Motion to
Oh, I'm
approve?
sorry, any other questions?
I
that
have
come-
one more question.
Yes, Councilor Russell.
Sir, are you being appointed as an additional member of the Board of Health, or are you being appointed as a replacement for any individual?
An additional member.
Motion to send it with favorable recommendation?
There is a motion on the table, seconded by Councilor Russell. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Councilors, the next item on the agenda is item 11723, the reappointment of former city councilor and president, I believe, correct? Joseph Cordo for the Greater Lawrence Sanitary District.
Thank you. Thank you,
Hello,
Madam
Counselor.
Chair. Congratulations, Representative Reyes, well-deserved.
Thank you, thank you.
And same to you, Richard. Congratulations on you making it. Nah, no. I have here that I'm going to hand out. These are something we put together. I made some for every counselor, so from a point to be sent up to the council, I'll give the rest of them. These are for you. And that is something we put together, Tom Connors, Sherry Cousins, myself. It gives you a little bit of background on what goes on at the district. We hand those out. And also in there, what we did, which we felt was very important, if we're going to get our word out, we also have to do it in English and Spanish. So when you look at in there, you'll find one in English, one in Spanish, one of the packets, and then you'll see another one that gives the history as well. They're glossy too, they're very nice. And they're in English and Spanish. So, so we thought this was very important. When we had a little presentation with the mayor back in January, and he was very pleased to see that. He liked what's going on at the district. Well, I've been a commissioner at the sanitary district since 2010, and I've been involved in a variety of positions there. I was a secretary, I was the vice chair. Now I'm currently the treasurer for the district, as well as the retirement system. Lawrence, the commission is made up of 8 commissioners from 6 communities. There's Lawrence, Methuen, Andover, North Andover, and then you have Salem and Dracut. Lawrence, Methuen, Andover, North Andover are the only voting communities. Salem can participate, but they cannot vote, and Dracut, they don't come at all. Also, the commissioners are made up of 4 from Lawrence, 2 from Methuen, 1 from Andover, and 1 from North Andover. And you say, well, how does Lawrence luck out with 4 commissioners? Well, we should. When you have an annual assessment of $18.6 million, and Lawrence pays $7+ million, we should have the lion's, we pay the lion's share, so we should have the lion's share of the commissioners as well. Every year, we of course, we work very hard at managing our money, and then if we have a surplus at the end, we call it a community credit. We keep maybe 10% in reserve for the unknown, but last year, Lawrence got $1.3 million back. So as you can see, you know, if we have the money, we just don't keep it there and squander it. It goes back to the communities and all the commissioners. They vote on it as well. As you can see in there, like I said, gives it background. We just did a big project called Organics to Energy, which is something which we got it working. It's like it was a $25+ million project, And what it does is convert some of the waste into energy, which helps heat the facilities, and we get those from restaurants. It's we're one of the leading districts that does that in the country. Not too many people are doing it right now. And then, of course, as a commissioner, one of our jobs is to make sure we make sure the facility functions properly, whatever needs to be fixed, any new technology comes in, we have to do that. About 3-4 years ago, we bought a CAT generator, one of the best generators in the country, and we lucked out. Sorry, the other facility went out of business, but their hardship was our benefit. We ended up getting a brand-new CAT, and they're incredibly expensive, so we got that as well. So that's just give you a little bit of a recap, and if there's anything else you may have. Like I said, I've been involved in a variety of things. I was even on a CDBG board with the representative, and so anyway, if you have any more questions,
Any questions or comments? Before we do that, I do want to recognize Councilor Maria de la Cruz of District A has joined us this evening.
Present.
Any questions or
Nice to see you.
comments?
Comments.
Yes, Representative Reyes.
Thank you for your continued commitment to our city. That's all I can say.
thank you, Representative, and the same to you. Not only you doing a great job as a council, now you're a representative. Doesn't get better than that, and we appreciate your service as well.
Councilor Russell?
Sir, you being a veteran and I being a veteran, we know we're in good hands because the Army lives with Spec 5s. I was one also, so we're in good hands.
Thank you, I really appreciate that. We have something in common. See, the things you find out at committee meetings. And my district counselor is the chair. Doesn't get better than that. I mean, we have a good group here tonight.
Very good group. Yes, Councilor De La Cruz.
Mr. Corridon, thank you for being here. I remember, what year were you serving as a mayor?
Oh, no, city councilor.
City councilor.
Yeah, I was the council president. Back, I think it was 1990, I think. I was on the council for 8 years. 1990, 91, yeah. Long time ago, when I was just a young kid.
And you still love our city?
I sure do. I lived here all my life. I've been involved in quite a few things, and very proud of the city. And can I share one story with you?
Yes.
Okay, when I was growing up, I lived in Prospect Hill. And I was a junior in high school, and I dated a girl in Tower Hill. So you're familiar with Tower Hill, Prospect Hill. And I love to tell this story, not only to Laurentians, because Laurentians know what I'm talking about, they appreciate it, but it's the out-of-towners that have developed an attitude about Lawrence. And I would tell them the story that when I date the girl from Tower Hill on a Friday or Saturday night, I was only 15, I could walk from Tower Hill across the city at 10, 11 o'clock at night, hand to God. Never once did I fear for anything. Never once was I approached. And Lawrence is still a good city. Still a good city. So it was a good city when I was growing up, and still a good city now. And of course, when I tell that story to those out-of-towners that they think they know more than us, they're speechless, probably for the first time in their lives. But it's a true story, and I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud that I lived in a city and I brought up my family here, no fear. They grew up, they went to school here. Good city. And like I was talking to the council earlier, it's good to see that we get more and more new people involved. And that's why Lawrence is as good as long as it's, you know me, I'm a cheerleader, so I don't need to. Yeah.
Oh, we're definitely fortunate to have you, Councilor. That's for sure. Do we have any other questions or comments? No. Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to send it with favorable recommendation?
Motion made,
Second.
seconded by Councilor Russell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the ayes have it.
Thank you so much. I hope I didn't chew your ear off, but I do like to, like you do, I like to toot my horn for the city, and, you know, it is a great place, and I'm just very happy, and I'm happy that you consider me again for reappointment so I can continue to help out. Thank you again for everything. This is for you, Councilor.
Okay, counselors, next item on the agenda is item 11823, the reappointment of Thomas Connors to the Greater Lawrence Sanitary District, sponsored by Mayor Brian DePena. I did get communication from the clerk that Mr. Connors would not be able to make it tonight. So at this point,
You can send it, it's reappointed and
Yeah,
he's been
yeah.
serving.
Yep, so at this point, I am looking for a motion to send this item as a committee report, to give him the opportunity to address the full council and, reintroduce himself to us.
So move.
There's a motion made by Representative Reyes, seconded by Councilor Russell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it. And last thing on the agenda, we do have an untabled matter that we have our Director of HR, Ms. Gina Greca, and our Water Commissioner, William Hale, here to talk about item 290-21. I'm looking for a motion to untable this item, please.
So move.
Motion made by Representative Reyes. Seconded by Councilor Russell. All those in favor?
Aye.
And the ayes have it. So item 290-21 is the request for ordinance creating position of safety manager in the Department of Public Works. And we have both of them today with us to talk more a little bit about this item.
Good evening. So I provided a handout for this position that I just wanted to stress from my point of perspective of how important this position is for the city. So if you look at the handout, it's in 2019, the city, there was a mass general law passed. Although that municipalities aren't under OSHA, we still have to follow the guidelines of the Department of Labor standards. So they're very similar to OSHA, just not as strict. But I feel that it's important for the city with the type of work that the DPW and the water and sewer do on a daily basis. If you flip through, there's like an overview of, this is training that I had taken in 2019. And I just want to go to page 2. So it says OSHA will continue to oversee the private sector employees, but then the Mass Department of Labor Standards will oversee that. The Department of Labor Standards can issue fines, but they prefer corrective actions. So we actually did have, they came and we had to do a corrective action in 2018 before this became a law, something with excavation safety. And then we went, from that point, they came and told us that we needed to get better shoring equipment. So we went and purchased that for the Water and Sewer Department. So we have that available now. And if you go to page 4, this just shows you like fatalities. So falls is 36% of the fatal accidents, 10% struck by objects, 9% electrocutions, and then 2% is caught in between construction equipment. So as you can see, the type of work that we do is very dangerous considering we're using excavators on a daily basis. DPW uses chainsaws, we have loaders, excavators, dump trucks. The municipal garage uses all types of power equipment. Airport has all types of equipment. There's many different departments within DPW that all need the training. So I think if we can get the safety manager involved with all these departments and schedule all the training that we need, I think just by preventing one accident, it can save the city a tremendous amount of money. Because we typically have like 1 or 2 people out on comp from an accident, so we have to continue to pay them 72% of their pay while they're out rehabbing their injuries. So I think with more education, and the primary goal of the position is to educate our employees. They still have a responsibility to follow these guidelines, but with the continued education involvement, I think that we can make a big impact in reducing the injuries. This is just on page 5, it shows you that DPWs and water departments, just the municipalities. Fatal accident for a mower tip over, plow accident, ladder fall, water main repairs, fall from a bucket truck. I mean, these are all things that we do on a daily basis, so it's very serious. So on page 7, you can see that it says the myth is that safety costs too much, which is, you can see, it's the exact opposite. If we take initiative and train our employees, just one hearing loss injury, $44,000 was paid out. Hernia, $45,000, sprain, $64,000, all the way down to $252,000 for an electrical shock. So that's something that the city would have to pay for comp, for the worker to be out and get rehab. So I think just by having more training and reducing this, it pays for itself. And the main goal is to keep the employees safe. That's the main goal. The money really isn't the issue. It's more of just keeping the employees safe. And if, just to sum things up, this gives you on page A3, it's like 2 pages more. It gives you like a checklist of what things that we can do. The managers within DPW, if we get trained, get the training to the employees, we can check for the DPW garage. There's one for excavation safety. We would set competent person on site to make sure everybody's safe. If that person feels that something is unsafe on the job site, he can shut that job down. And on the last page, it shows you just safety tips for trench safety. And this is something that is very big. We do this, we dig all the time. So I think, you know, if we can start educating more. We did have some OSHA 10 training, I just don't think it's enough. And that's just a summary of, you know, what can happen, so. Is there any questions?
Councilors, any questions or comments? Representative Reyes, and then Councilor De La Cruz.
Good evening. My question is referred to Director LeGrec.
Good evening, councilors.
Good evening. Always nice to see you.
Always nice to see you as well.
So my question to you, this is creating a position. This is going to be a new position?
Yes.
Okay. So, so that position never existed before?
No, and you know, I know Commissioner Hale did a great job of explaining why we need it, but my department actually handles the workers' compensation claims, and I just want to echo his concerns about our employees. We do always have people that are out because they got injured on the job, and I think that this would really be something that's beneficial to the cities, the general welfare of our employees, and also the cost, which of course is secondary to the health, but I do see claims every single day in my position, and I really think this would be a great way to try to address that before it happens.
Councilor De La Cruz.
Yes, thank you. Will those training be inside, or people will have to go to schools for those?
So a lot of them you can set up, like we're gonna do OSHA at the library and have somebody come in and do it in a big setting there. So most of the stuff can be handled in-house.
Any further questions or comments? Councilor Russell?
I can speak wholeheartedly, firsthand. I've been playing around construction and railroads for damn close to 60 years. 1966, before OSHA existed, before the FRA existed, the prevailing attitude was the Superman attitude. This stuff can't happen to me. I've seen my share of accidents on construction jobs. But the thing is, I mean, this is good because I know a lot of people out there, they have that attitude that this can't happen to me. It can and it will, and with, at times, devastating results. So this, I agree wholeheartedly that training and the position are mandated.
Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you, and I have 2 questions for you as well. First to Director LaGreca, how many accidental claims do we average per year, would you say?
I honestly don't know that number off the top of my head. I can tell you that I get injury reports probably 5 times a week. So we do use a third-party administrator to handle those numbers, so I'm sure that I could download them and send them to you if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Okay,
Thank you.
sure.
And then my other question is, will this position have a connection to the water department?
Yeah, so I have it budgeted under the water and sewer department, but it's gonna be we fall under DPW anyway, so it's gonna be for all of DPW and water and sewer.
Thank you. And then my last question is, the pay. This is a grade 4.
So it's actually under the new scale, we worked together to determine that it should be a grade E, which is 54,600 to 87,360. And we think that's pretty much fair market value with the other municipalities that have this.
Thank you. Any other further questions or comments? No? Okay, at this time, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to send it with favorable recommendation?
Motion made by Representative Reyes. Is there a second?
Second.
Second made by Councilor Dela Cruz. All those in favor? Aye. The ayes have it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
Councilors, are there any other items that we wish to table tonight? No? Okay, seeing none, can I have a motion to adjourn? Motion made, motion made by Councilor Dela Cruz, seconded by Councilor Russell. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you so much, and have a great evening.